Welcome back to the Argel Talk podcast. This is the second half of our console rating episode. In this one, we're going to go over the Legion consoles. This is a direct continuation of the previous episode, so there's no intro or anything of that nature. We're just going to jump right into it.
All right, so we are now into our next section here. We're going to talk about the Legion specific, of which there are, what about 8? 10.
Something like that. 10, yeah.
10, yeah.
Fucking 30% of them are Space Wolves.
They just keep getting away with it.
They really do. They really do be like that sometimes.
Sometimes, every time, it be exactly like that.
Alright, so just to recap from before, our top scoring generic Centurions were the Herald at 48 points out of 50, which is a little ridiculous. The Chaplain with 44. And then the Librarian with 42. You get a little... Well, it is 41. We got a little bonus point for versatility because it goes up to 11. And then also at 41 is the Moritat. So, little kind of unusual. Definitely not what I expected for the most part.
Yeah, and the Siegebreaker rounds out the top 5.
Yep. Which it goes... The Siegebreaker has 34 points. Like, the gulf between number 4 and number 5 is pretty big.
Yeah, it is a huge gulf there.
Alright, but we're going to get into the Legion-specific ones. We'll see if any of them beat out or beat off the generic ones. A lot of the Legion-specific ones are, like, variations on a generic one, so... We'll see if they're better than their counterparts. The first one we have is the Dark Angels Paladin of the Hecatonistica.
Let me pull him up. That's already...
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up.
That is a mouthful. Oof. So he is... So these entries are interesting because they tell... Instead of being in the... console entry telling you what you can take, these Legion-specific entries tell you what kind of console you can put it on. It's kind of backwards there. So you can use them on any Artificer Armored or Permanent Armored Praetor. He has to take in order the Hecatonistica option from the Inner Knight Cenobium at no cost, and his weapon skill increases to 6 and his leadership to 10. In addition, he gains Stubborn and Adamantium Will 3+. And he must take a free Tyrannic Greatsword.
Oh no. And you get all that for 30 points.
And it doesn't replace anything, so it's an additional Tyrannic Greatsword.
Yeah.
This
Which
is a guy
I think they're two-handed though, aren't they?
Yeah, Tyrannic Greatsword for the audience at home is a two-handed. It is a Strength 6, AP 3, two-handed power sword with a rending 5+, murderous strike 5+. So.
Yeah, and it's remember, like, oh, it's only AP3 until you get to the rending 5-up, which is also instant death.
And if I remember my Dark Angels rule, which I don't. Um, yeah, it starts to get really silly really quick the way you can stack it in. You take him as a Deathwing, and now he gets a +1 bonus to hit when rolling to hit an assault with a Tyrannic Greatsword.
Yeah.
Would you like to be chiefing that into people on a 2-up?
And then
Because
you
you're
get
silly
all
if you don't.
the different Hecatonistica rules, which there's nothing that says he has to have the same one as if he joins a unit of Knights Cenobium, and there are
Correct.
6 of those of varying uh, usefulness. But
So
this
just
guy
to know.
has a lot of customizability to him. I would say this guy is a variation of the champion. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd say he's a champion. He is your
He's your weapon
Build-A-Bear
skill
champion.
6 guy with a good weapon. And he is 5 points less than the champion.
Yep,
And he
and gets
gets leadership 10. And stubborn and adamantium will 3. So he loses the fearless in challenges, but he gets stubborn all the time. He's actually kind of a mix of a champion and a chaplain, if you look at it that way.
which gets even worse when you talk about, say, taking Slayers of Kings or Hunters of Beasts on him,
Yeah, what do those do?
or Breakers of Witches.
I
So
love
the
breaking
six
some witches
hecaton.
in my Dragula.
So yeah. So just to shortcut and give everyone a quick idea of what the Hecatonistica orders are, he can take Augurs of Weakness. He's throwing Armor Penetration against a target with Armor 11 or more. He gets +1 Strength. So he's Strength 7 against most vehicles. Just for free. Icon of Resolve does nothing for him. Because it gives him +1 leadership to a maximum of 10. On anytime he or his unit is charged by one or more enemy units. Doesn't matter, he's already leadership 10.
Mm.
So, okay, there's your one downside. Slayers of Kings. May re-roll all failed to hit rolls of 1 when in combat with a model with weapon skill or 5 or higher, or in a challenge with anybody weapon skill 5 or higher. That doesn't. It's kind of a weird way to say that because if you're in a challenge, you're in combat.
Yeah.
Um, Hunters of Beast. Reroll all fail wound rolls of 1 when fighting against something. So all failed to wound rolls of 1 against tough 5 or better. All failed to rule rolls, period, if they're tough 6 or better. So
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
that is. Especially against like demons. You throw this guy at you throw this guy at a sovereign, it's fucking over for that sovereign. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, it gets better. So then you got Reaper of Hosts. He gets a +1 attack in any fight subphase, which he's in base-to-base contact with more than one enemy model. So he just gets, what is that, Reaping Blow 1?
Yeah.
And then Breakers of Witches, which is arguably better for killing demons. He may re-roll all to hit and to wound rolls in close combat when attacking an enemy unit. So it doesn't even have to be the model, any unit that has them, of Demon, Psyker, or Corrupted in there.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Shit, that's better than Ravenous Disillusion as a whole army.
Yeah, so he is your demon killer. He is your sandbox guy. He is fucking terrifying. And when you stack his Legion rules in, he uses all his Legion rules that he could possibly use, except one. And there are 12 Legion rules you can give him. You know, 6 wings and 6 orders. So Talking about utility here and versatility, we got to talk about utility in their legion. Does the thing get something out of their legion here? And I think he does. I think he is straight pegged at 5.
Yeah, I had said 3 originally, but the more we look through all that stuff, I'm like, no, this guy is. I'd probably put him at 4.
Yeah, he is fucking strong.
Like he does what a champion does, but he does it better and a lot better.
I'm you, only better.
The cooler
Um,
Daniel.
exactly. It is Peacemaker versus Bloodshot, or whatever the hell his name is. Um, Points value. I'm gonna give him a 5.
Yeah, dude,
I
5
think.
absolutely. Weapon skill 6, leadership 10, and adamantium will, and stubborn, and a tyrannic greatsword for only 30 points is
Not
nuts.
replace an extra Granite Greatsword.
Yeah, for only 30 points, plus any of those order rules that you can, grab bag. Like, it says you have to pick it at army creation, but who's gonna know, really?
Oh yeah, you're taking two separate when you build your list. He has two separate special rules you combine because you're the Build-A-Bear Legion on top of being the Build-A-Bear character.
Yeah. Well, he really is the build-a-bitch.
Yeah, war gear. I'm gonna have to give a 5. There's no downside to his war gear.
I give him a 4 because the great sword is, well, great, but he is no, he's not Terminator only. Yeah, no, yeah, fuck
No,
it, 5. Yeah, he has no restrictions, and only, yeah, 5. Fuck.
yeah, you could do all that horse shit that he has there, and you could just, yeah, I have the Tyrannic Greatsword in my pocket, and I also am going to spend the points on giving him dual lightning claws or a
Yeah,
thunder hammer or something.
yeah.
So you just don't give a fuck. Oh, so let me. What did you give him points value? I think I wrote that down wrong.
5.
Yeah, so this guy is.
Fuck, this guy might be straight 10s across the board, bro.
Yeah, I think he's 9. You gave him a 4 on utility, I gave him a 5.
Yeah,
So he's fairly. Versatility, he's 10. He's so build a bear. He
yeah.
does what you want him to do.
Whatever you want to do, he can choose anything.
Yeah.
Like it, yeah, it's all melee, it's all killing, but there's just like the librarian. There's so many different ways that you can do it.
He's going to kill anything you put him up into. If you need it killed, he's the guy to do it. And you can stick him with whoever you want, and he's not going to be a problem to stick with them. Cool factor. He's super fucking cool.
I give him a 4 for cool factor. Like he is just a
Sure.
fancy champion, but he is a really fancy champion.
Yeah, he's a very fancy champion. And it's kind of cool that he's like, at least conceptual wise, he's like double dipping into secret orders. He is like
Yeah,
Grand Wizard Dragon of secret orders.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's super cool. You know he's gonna have a pointy. He's gonna have that super cool Dark Angel's hood on.
oh yeah, the one that looks like cat ears.
Yeah. So I give him a 9. So he is 48.
Jeez, right off the bat, tied with our best, the Herald.
Yeah.
Insanity. Surely it can only get better from here, right? The Emperor's Children Phoenix Warden.
What a piece of shit. Oof. Would you like to take a worse champion? We went from taking a better champion to would you like to take a worse one?
Yeah, so
I
this
think I
guy.
think he's a worse champion.
Yeah, so this guy gets skill unmatched in living icons. And he can only be taken as a Tartaros Terminator. Now, skill unmatched gives him a couple of different options in close combat. Choosing at initiative step 10. You can take Perfect Guard, which will increase his weapon skill by 1 for the purposes of what enemies need to hit him, but takes away one of his attacks. You can do Perfect Strike, which is like the same thing, but his weapon skill for the purposes of hitting enemies. Or you can do Perfect Fury, which increases his attack by 1, but flat out reduces his weapon skill by 1. And then living icons gives him and anyone within six
Plus one
inches
combat
plus
res.
one to combat res, which doesn't stack with anything else. So, like if you have Fulgrim on the table, like yeah, go fuck yourself. And then he also gets like he obtains, not a replacement, a any Phoenix pattern power weapon and an Iron Halo for no additional points cost.
Ooh. You know what? Reading that, I take back. He's not a stinker.
You say that, I give him utility 2. I think skill unmatched would be worth using if he was baseline weapon skill 6. As it is, you're giving up too much for the lowering weapon skill of the enemy to warrant losing the already not that many attacks that you have.
Mm,
And I think
I
that Perfect Fury flat out decreasing your weapon skill from 5 to 4,
mhm.
that one's not worth taking.
So here's where it's fun, right? And this is I felt the same way, but then I started think. But now that I think about it, so he's not better champion. He's just more purple champion.
Sure.
So the Phoenix Banner power weapon is kind of a throwaway a little bit, but it
Yeah,
doesn't get in the way of your. It doesn't replace anything.
right.
He is the best of all worlds and a Terminator. In fact, no, he is the best Terminator. Now that I think about it,
Yeah, all the
you get
benefits of Cataphracti with none of the downsides.
and all the benefits of Tartaros.
Well, and not, I guess not the heavy benefit, but I mean, who cares? You
But
can't
again,
see
the
me
thing
right
is,
now, but I'm making a dismissive wanking gesture.
yeah. Oh no! In a game where all the templates are, or almost all the inputs are AP4 or worse, my two up armor character can't re-roll his armor save. Ooh, like who cares? The Iron Halo for free is fucking worth.
Yeah,
Um, skill unmatched is kind of niche. And this we're gonna have to kind of overlap with War Gear here. This is an Elysian where you can just give him Sonic Shriekers, so he's already dumping somebody else's weapon skill by one already,
true. I had not considered that.
and he is fast. So you give this Joker like a, I don't know, Thunderhammer Lightning Claw. You're not gonna win on points. Give him Thunderhammer Lightning Claw. Take your pick as to what you want to do, or just give him the Thunderhammer and have your Phoenix weapon and pick whether you want to go super fast or you want to beat the ass off of somebody at I2.
Yeah,
It's not a, and he's got that +1 combat res, which isn't nothing.
it's not nothing. You know what? Yeah, I'll bump him to utility 3. You've
Yeah, I
convinced
think
me.
he's at least as useful as a champion. So he's just different champion.
He's just built
Points
different.
built different. Points value, I think the iron. So it's like he doesn't get the Paragon blade, but just he's Iron Halo.
Yeah.
Now he is a Terminator. Consuls 3 is more expensive base, so I'm gonna have to go with.
He does get that extra wound.
He does get that extra wound. And he does. He is super survivable. Ooh, I might have to give him either a 4 or a 5 for points
Yeah, I
value.
give him a 4 for points. He is cheaper than a champion.
Yeah, he's definitely cheaper than a Terminator
Off the
champion.
bat, anyway.
He's more value than a Terminator champion. I think you have to compare him to a Terminator champion. I
Yeah.
think you kind of have to because he is a Terminator, so that's
Yeah.
where you have to compare him.
Yeah, so off the
Which
bat, he's
case, I'm gonna give
cheaper.
him a 5. I think I'm gonna have to give him a 5. Like, yeah, you're losing the because you don't get fearless, but it is +1 combat res, which is nice.
I do think he needs the extra points spent on him for other weapons and for Sonic Shriekers, whereas the
Yeah.
champion is just fine with his Paragon Blade.
You run them raw, yeah. So probably maybe 4 then.
Yeah,
I
I'd say
think
4.
4. I think that's fair. War gear.
Or I give him a 4. The Phoenix weapons is meh. The Power Spear has Murderous Strike if you really feel like you
Yeah.
want it. But it doesn't get in the way of other options, and you
hmm
get an Iron Halo.
Iron Halo is so good though, because of the war gear. Because I feel like Terminator armor is a war gear.
Yeah,
It's a, and you're getting 2 Terminator armors at once,
yeah.
and then the free Phoenix weapon. Eh, probably gonna. Nah, I'm gonna give him a 5.
Mm.
Because if you stack the right rules with them and you stack the right buying like your Sonic Shrieker and whatnot and buy those and put them on them, you're gonna end up with this very defensive champion.
That's true. Are we taking into account other possible Legion upgrades? I guess we kind
I
of
think
have to. That's kind of what makes it
because
the Emperor's
oh,
Children
yeah, I think
guy.
I mean that's what we did with Dart with the Paladin, so we gotta have to take him in his Legion. You know.
Well, for the Paladin, he had to have a Hecatomystica.
Yeah, but also like
This guy
your wing
doesn't
rules,
need. Yeah,
your
well, that's
wing
the
rules
Legion
stack in
trait.
too. Yeah,
But yeah,
but
you know what? Yeah, I
and
say we can take the Warrior, and if yeah, when you put on Sonic Shriekers, yeah,
you said you
I'll
get
give him a 5 for Warrior.
extraordinarily hard pity champion.
Yeah, and then that does make skill unmatched a little more usable.
Yeah, because you just trap some character in combat with him while you have like a Praetor with that squad just beating everybody up, or Lucius or Fulgrim, who cares? Somebody else.
Yeah,
Just wrecking everybody elsewise unperturbed. Versatility, he is kind of a one. He's not a one trick pony.
see, I give him a 4 for versatility just because
I
of
think
all the options you have with skill
you do have a
unmatched.
lot.
I don't
Yeah,
know that
that's
I would
true.
take them all, but they're there. You can do it. And
Yeah,
then all the different, cosmetics you can, or surgical augments you can give him.
yeah,
I mean, Sonic Shriekers is the one you want, but
yeah. And then you stack in. Yeah, I think you're not wrong there. And then cool factor, he's a character Phoenix Terminator.
yeah, I give
Phoenix
him a
Terminators
3.
are Phoenix Terminators are cool.
I give him a
My
3.
buy,
Kind of a pompous prick, if you ask me.
yeah, I'm a little bit biased. Phoenix Terminators are the high watermark of models that GW ever put out for the Horus Heresy. As
Mm,
far as just pretty, pretty fucking sculpting and just beautifully well done sculpts. So I'm gonna give him a 4. So
fair enough.
yeah, for a guy who I started off saying he's a stinker, now that we really look at him, he's actually
Yeah, he's really come across.
yeah, uh, 13, 39. Is that what he said? Am I wrong? No, I'm wrong, aren't I?
Like
39.
morally, or
Math
no,
wise,
39. Yeah,
39. Oh, he's actually
he's kind of up there.
yeah. He outranked the Siegebreaker.
Yeah.
He's in that top cluster, which I did not expect. Color me surprised. All
All
right,
right. Moving on, the White
moving on.
Scars Storm Seer.
Swapping books.
Hell yeah. So this
Right.
guy is he's your White Scars librarian, basically. He doesn't get all the disciplines. He gets divination, telepathy, or thaumaturgy, or the special Storm's Fury one. He also gets adamantium will 4 up, not bad. And then he gets the same force weapon psychic hood. The Storm's Fury is has 2 powers. It has the weapon, The Unseen Bolt is a 72-inch range, Strength 4, AP 4, Large Blast, Barrage, Shock Pulse, and Force. So you can make that into a Strength 8 blast with Shock Pulse, like a bolt from the heavens. Pretty neat. And then Call of the Wind is the power, which is where I think he falls down a little bit. Instead of moving, so he can't move to cast his power. Instead, everybody, every unit within 6 inches gets Fleet 2. You can take a psychic check and make it Fleet 4. It sounds really good, but I think that is a power that you're going to be able to use once because he's not going to be able to keep up.
Yeah. So
And I
what you
don't
do?
know what you put him with to make that worthwhile to give up his movement.
Heavy sports
Um,
squad.
all right, then what is. Well, yeah, I was thinking, you know what? Because I was thinking about this earlier. You might even put him
Sniper squad.
in a recon squad
Yeah.
with
It's got the
snipers,
same range.
which have the same range. Yep.
Uh-huh.
And then you just fucking drop that blast, and whatever's left, you pick off the stragglers. However, when I run this guy, I just give him telepathy
Yeah.
because I just wait to get shot and then try to pin whatever shot me. I put this guy with the Dark Sons of Death
Yeah.
because he's one of the only things that can join them. And it's a pretty cool unit. I give him a 4 for utility. He is a psyker. He has his custom one, which, you know, you can take it or leave it, but he has a selection of other good ones. It's not like he's taken just the shittiest powers available to him, even though
Hmm.
thaumaturgy is right there.
You know what? Because you gotta take. Well, he is also eligible to have a Cyberhawk
Yeah,
for making sure that unseen bolt fucking. I don't know if it would help because it re-rolls. It rolls to 1, so that doesn't help with the psychic bolt.
yeah. It might help
Eh,
with the snipers.
help the snipers. Give him a. Give him a. Give him a Nemesis bolter. And snipers. Put a Cyberhawk on him. Now the whole squad has Mastercraft.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty fucking great. And give him,
I
I don't
think
know.
if you're taking him just for the
Well,
Cyberhawk, I would
well,
use
no, you
a different console.
give him telepathy.
Yeah,
Give him the Sniper Hawk. Just have snipers that you can't shoot back at.
yeah,
That's fucking grody. Or you can use him to cover someone else going up. He's got utility. I'd give him a 4. I think he's good.
yeah. I'd agree.
Points value, I think he's too expensive.
Yeah, I give him a 3. He's the same as the librarian. He's the same points cost at 45.
Oh, I
With
might actually give. Well, go ahead.
with less of the versatility and choice.
I might give him a 2. Just because he doesn't have the full toolbox.
Yeah,
But he's the same
he
cost.
does get adamantium will 4, which is very niche because most of the psychers that you see are going to be using things like biomancy or telepathy that aren't necessarily psychic weapons that you would take. Well, I guess biomancer's rage is a psychic weapon, but still, like you still don't see that many psychers around. It's kind of niche. So
Yeah, that's the thing. So I don't know that it will come up a lot.
yeah, I'll stick with 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 2 because I think he's losing a lot. Well, wait. So it's adamantium. What's? Okay, never mind. Doesn't
Adamantium
adamantium?
will is an invulnerable save against psychic weapons,
Yeah,
so it's better than his refractor field. But
yeah, but only against psychic weapons
right,
when he's warding off incoming etheric lightning.
yeah.
It's
Oh
I don't think it's a very high AP anyways.
no, it's
So
not.
it's fairly anemic. as far as AP goes. So, all right, for what that's worth, war gear.
I give him a 5. It's the same exact as stuff as the librarian. He doesn't have any restrictions on him. He could
I
be a
can do that.
Terminator. He could be a regular guy.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I can see that for sure.
The
And
Psychic Hood is the
also,
same points cost as the librarian. It's not up costed like the Esoterrorist was.
um, oh, so what's kind of neat is, yeah, I think you have to give him a 5 because you have Legion war gear that goes in there, and all the Legion war gear except maybe the Power Glaive is a good thing to stick on him. Any of it's good. Stick him on a bike. Put him on Shamshir. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't know about the Shamshir because I think that no, that doesn't give you heavy. It's just the Golden Keshi specifically. But yeah, the Scatterbolt launcher is on the Shamshir is decent.
Mm-hmm.
Cyberhawk is a Cyberhawk.
15-inch movement.
Yeah,
He's moving and grooving. Yeah, I think they're good.
yeah.
So yeah, 10 on that. Versatility. He's a toolbox. I don't think it gets the cooler 11, but he does. I think he does get the 10.
I think he gets. So I give him a 3 for versatility, just because he
Really?
has so many fewer disciplines, and
That's true.
and flat out, I don't think they're all worth using. I think Thaumaturgy is a very very niche case of usability.
Mm,
So basically, this guy is going to be Storm's Fury, Divination, or Telepathy. Now, I seem to recall in our Psyker episode we talked about how good thaumaturgy can be, but I don't
yeah.
remember all that, so I'm just vaguely recollecting that maybe it's good sometimes.
That's fair. Um. Well, giving fleet to everything. It's
Yeah, I
not.
feel like that's hard to pull off though. Like maybe I guess you could do it. You know, you would wait for it. You don't have to do it turn one. You just wait for the time where all right, something that isn't my unit needs to
Deliver.
deliver, and I don't know why he's not in the unit that needs to deliver. Because if you're not going to do it to yourself, because then you're missing out on the 15-inch movement to give yourself 4 to your charge. Like there's way better options there. You just move up closer.
Uh, you know what? It's for Evan Keshik. He can't
Explain.
fucking. He can't fucking join them anyways, right?
Yeah,
So give them that buff to charge,
I
right?
guess. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility.
He's on the outside looking in at them anyways. He can't help them directly by being with them, so at least he can send them off faster to go deliver
Squidward
their.
looking out the window at SpongeBob and Patrick as they charge with their power glaives.
Yeah, it's not. It's one of the few ways to buff them guys up,
Yeah, yeah, I can
which I
see
think
that.
you can't ignore that. So I'm gonna give him a 4. So you gave 3, I gave 4. Cool factor 5.
Yeah, 5. He may be a psyker, but White Scars are based at everything they do.
Yeah, he is.
And you can also do like some neat modeling stuff. Like my guy's force staff is like skulls on it, you know, like a
Oh
ram
yeah.
skull, animal skulls,
If anybody was playing first edition and
furs, and
had
all that.
modeled a guy with the bow and arrow thing, they could use that as your storm
Oh
sphere.
yeah, that was neat.
Yeah, just keep that. Just keep that model. Don't break it up. Just use it as storm shear. That's him shooting his lightning bolt. The unseen bolt comes off of his bow and arrow. Be based.
Hell yeah. But that brings him to 40.
Ooh, all these Legion specifics are fairly good.
Yeah.
All right,
All right. Well, we say that, and then there's the
time to
first of
cry.
3 goddamn space wolves. It's too
Time to
bad
cry.
Ben's not here to attempt to defend this, but whatever. The Space Wolves Pack Thane. He's a 10-point upgrade to any kind of Centurion. He gets counterattack 1, and you can elect to give him Skirmish. That's it. I
Does
don't know why you would elect not to give him skirmish. It doesn't punish him for having it. The thing is that skirmish does not confer to a unit, so everybody in the squad has to have skirmish in order to get the benefits.
do any of the Space Wolf specific units have skirmish?
The Gray Stalkers and Gray Slayers, because of fucking course they do.
So that's why, if you just want to stick a Centurion with them and not have them lose skirmish, that's what it's for.
Yeah, I guess if you just want like a real fancy sergeant or a guy with another guy with a frost weapon, I guess. I don't know.
Mhm. Another guy with, or just a guy with a better invulnerable save stuck in and better weapon skill.
Yeah, or recons, but I give him a 2 for utility because like what even is this guy? Maybe you put him with recons, like you put him with Gray Slayers, and he's just a baseline Centurion. I guess if you really want, if you want to have a character with your Gray Slayers, but you want to keep skirmish, and that is more important to you than having a good character with, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
sure.
I guess
Or
he's
you can
that
like put
near.
him with recons and have, if you want close range recons, he can work with them and then also have counterattack.
Yeah,
Like
if you're
he's
gonna do
definitely
your,
not worse than the Pathfinder.
you know what? He's your babysit for your shotgun recons and scouts.
Yeah,
He's gonna babysit them.
just have like a cheeky power weapon or frost weapon or whatever.
Yeah, give him fucking. I think. Oh, here's what you do: is you do scouts with shotguns and Fenrisian axes, and put him with them. And it's just kind of a gonzo thing that you can't ignore,
Yeah,
and they're gonna make you pay for not ignoring it the entire fucking time.
yeah.
It's
Because
just
at least he also
annoying.
gets to keep his artificer armor, so there's that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give him a 3. Utility, you said you gave him a 3,
I give him a 2.
2, so that's a 5. Points value.
I give him a 5.
Yeah, he's so cheap.
Yeah, he's so cheap and he doesn't even have to give up his armor.
Yeah, and
And he
the
actually gets
Legion
a little
up
bit of benefit.
and the Legion upgrades are fairly fucking cheap.
Mm.
Oh, you can give him Aether Rune armor. That's fucking stupid.
Oh, yeah.
So then he
Shit.
becomes
I
3
gotta adjust my
wounds.
war gear score then because I didn't even think about all this stuff.
Yeah, you can give him a Frost Fenrisian Axe for 2 points. Um, you can get a Frost weapon for either 15 or sorry, either 20 or 25 points, depending which one you take. I don't think the Frost weapons are worth it on him necessarily.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stand by it. So, yeah, 5 for points value. For war gear, I'm gonna give him a 2 because he doesn't get anything. Um, he's restricted in his mobility. If you are a Space Wolves player saying, why should I take this guy who can take the same Legion upgrades as every other character I would take otherwise, then I don't think that really factors in. So I'm going to
yeah,
say 2 for War Gear.
I think you're probably right. I'll give him a 3 because Aether Room armor is just fucking busted, and
Yeah,
he can still use it. Oh, here's my skirmishing, scouting, fucking Aether Rune armor because everyone hates me.
yeah.
Um,
Versatility, I don't even know what to put here, so I give him a 3.
I think his versatility is low. His purpose is to give skirmish units counterattack, or to keep skirmish units skirmishing. That's the
Yeah,
only thing he does.
yeah.
So he doesn't do anything else. He's a 1 in
Yeah,
my book.
shit. Fuck it. Yeah, I agree. 1.
Cool factor. Uh, he's just Sergeant Plus. He's a fucking 1.
Well, yeah, also he's a Space Wolf, so I give him a 1. So.
Yeah, like there's nothing super great about him. He's just a bigger sergeant for your Gray Slayers.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
So
that's
here's
not nothing, but it's not a lot either.
it's not worth console prices.
Yeah. In this
So he's
economy.
seven. I mean, 70 points for a second better sergeant. So that gives us. Wow, he's really over the board. 5, 10, 3, 2, 2.
Oh,
Oof.
did you give him a 1 on War Gear?
I gave him a 1 on War Gear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because that's just because he can take Aether Rune. Other than that, he doesn't get anything up special and he loses stuff.
Yeah.
So 5, 10, 22.
22.
Still the
Still not as
stinker.
bad as the Pathfinder.
It's only on the value. That's the only way. That's what
Yeah.
carries him. If it wasn't for value, he'd be the lowest scoring thing we have out here.
Yeah.
All right. Speaker of the Dead.
The Speaker of the Dead. Ugh. Um, if you can't tell, I have a significant bias here. The Speaker of the Dead is the single most expensive console, but you're gonna see why. He's 65 points. He can be any type of Centurion, um, but he is essentially a chaplain and an apothecary rolled into one. He
He is
gives you
a
leadership 10 and stubborn and hatred and also an Arthesium and a mastercrafted power maul. He even gets his mastercrafted power maul for no additional points cost. He doesn't have to buy the power weapon first.
ooh,
The only restriction is that he can't have 2 lightning claws or a boarding shield, which, I mean, the lightning claws might be unfortunate, but oh well.
yeah. No, I don't think you're losing out there necessarily because you can still
Yeah.
take one
Yeah.
for
Yeah, he can still take
whatever
one.
reason.
And I mean, the mastercrafted power maul is not the worst power weapon you could get for free.
It's probably so people talk a lot about Power X. I think Power Maul is the new king weapon in this edition. Power X just doesn't have the wound sticking power. It might be AP2, but you're waiting till the end. You may not stick your wound.
It's still strength 5 though. But I mean, sure.
Wound on 2 versus wound on 3.
Yeah. Anyway, utility. This guy's a 5. He's literally 2
Yeah,
consoles in a trench coat. Like fuck.
good, too good. 2 of the better.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is
and 2
well.
of.
He's
I
one of the
mean,
best
the
comps.
Primus Medicae is not one of the better consoles, but the Apothecary is one of the better units.
Yeah.
Um, points
Points value.
5. He's 2 expensive consoles for the price of 1.5 consoles.
I mean, if you just take out the Mastercrafted Power Maul, right? What you would pay for put that on a chaplain, use 50 points for a chaplain, and then you add a Primus Medicae, which is another. What do we say? Those are 45 for a Primus
Yeah,
Medicae. So you're getting a 105-point Primus Medicae for 15 points or something.
basically, yeah.
Yeah, you fucking stupid upon stupid. War gear. The war gear is great. He's not losing out on these restrictions. The Legion war gear is great. You give him the Aether Rune armor and make everyone hate you.
Yeah.
We got 5 on war gear, man. I can't say that he doesn't.
Yeah, I had said 3 original. I don't know why the fuck I said that, but yeah, give him a 5. Well,
Chaplain
so
Arthesian.
I will say no. Yeah, North. Yeah, 5. Fuck.
Because you still have another hand that you can buy whatever you want to put in it.
Yeah.
No, actually, it doesn't replace anything. So you have 2 free
Yeah,
hands.
yeah. It's in another edition, so yeah, you can have whatever you want, except for 2 lightning claws and a boarding shield.
Yep. So that's
Versatility, I give him a 4. He's good literally anywhere. The most bang for your buck is, of course, going to be like a high impact melee unit. Um,
just
but
strong disagree. Your
oh,
basic, yeah. Because remember, Space Wolves have to take Gray Slayers, Gray Hunters,
yeah,
and
I
Gray
would say that they're
Slayers.
a high impact melee unit.
Well, they're your basic troop.
That
Also,
doesn't make them not a high impact melee unit.
yeah, they don't have to be a Legion High Impact unit though. There's no unit that can't use him because he does the Apothecary thing too,
Yeah,
and he gives Stubborn. Oh, here's an oh, it's a shooting only unit. Okay, what's an Apothecary that gives you Stubborn and is going to tank a shitload of wounds?
yeah, shit, you're right.
He's a fucking 5 versatility. Oh,
Yeah,
you need
you're
to fight in
right.
close combat. He's pumping you, and he's tanking. Yeah, he's fucking. Unfortunately, this might be our new top.
Well, so I'm
Except
giving him
for
a
the
1 on cool
lighter.
factor because fuck Space Wolves. Why the fuck does this guy get to do this? I'm very, very salty. Like, I don't even know if like, I'm reading the italicized stuff at the top. Nothing about that, like, tells me that he's a medic. Like, why is he this way? I hate him. Give him a 1. I'm big mad.
I think if you were to do your Speaker of the Dead as not wolf themed, and you were to do him as purely like some kind of death themed kind of thing, think almost like, I don't know, like Lovecraftian Viking. If you went that way with him,
Sure.
he could be really cool. But that's incumbent on you. I'll give him a 3. So 4. Oh, he almost became the top. He was so close, and then the cool let him down.
Yeah. Just being allied in the Furry Legion just.
You know that Speaker of the Dead rating is gonna bring Ben back from the dead to come and speak to us.
Oh yeah, he's gonna see that and he's just gonna be he's either gonna be smug or he's gonna I don't know, he's gonna say some shit. I know it.
Either way, he's not gonna be happy at our opinions.
Or he's gonna be
Oh well.
thrilled. I don't
Or,
know.
yeah, I don't know. He could be thrilled.
Alright, well just wait till we get to the fucking next one is the Caster of Runes.
Who is
Is
not a
the
striker.
special psyker who's not a psyker totally. It's channeling the world spirit of Fenris, even though we're half a galaxy away. That works somehow. But he's 45 points like the other psychers, even though he's not like the other psychers or like
Mhm.
the other girls. Much like the Stormseer, he doesn't get all of the special or all of the psychic disciplines, but he does get the Space Wolves special discipline. He gets the Winds of Fenris. He also gets Divination, Telekinesis, or Biomancy, which are some decent choices.
That's a better spread
Yeah,
than the
Biomancy
Stormseer.
especially.
Yeah.
And he gets Adamantium Will 4 up as well. Same War Gear stuff, Psychic Hood for 15 points. The Winds of
Agreed.
Fenris has a psychic weapon that is a template of Strength 5, AP 4, Assault 1, Deflagrate, and Force. So here have a Strength 10 Deflagrate template. And then the Psychic Power gives you gives a friendly unit with one model within 6 that is infantry, cavalry, or dreadnoughts, shrouded 5 up. Or take a psychic check to get shrouded 3 up.
And if you fail, you still get the 5-0.
Yeah. I mean, that's standard for
Yeah.
psychic powers.
But dude, so on top of just being beyond the beyond for defense, remember he still gets access to all the Space Wolves war gear. And you could
Right.
make him your warlord and give him Space Wolves warlord traits, which are fucking brutal.
I mean, you
All
can, but
all these
would you?
spatial, not a bad target for it. Depending on the warlord traits, which you kind of have to take into account here, because again, you're legion specific. All
Yeah.
right, well,
I don't know. I give him a 4 for utility. He has good power options. I think he has slightly better. Well, telepathy is really good for White Scars, or just really good in general. And the White Scars get it. These guys get
Furious Charge is
biomancy, is a
plus
little
one.
bit better offensively. Um,
Furious Charge is plus one strength on a charge, right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, you could give him Furious Charge, and then
All right. So you have
Biomancy.
what a fucking so biomancy would not work with biomancer's rage because the strength value of the weapon is a set number rather than like
Ah,
user plus whatever.
right.
But it would work to stack if you were to
With
just use the plus 1 strength power,
yeah, that be
which then you have like fucking uh, glance a
right.
Spartan on 2s with a force
Yeah, right.
staff.
Yeah, instant deathing custodians.
Yeah. Which a force,
Um,
basically, which a force axe or a force staff does anyway, or a force
yeah.
maul.
You can boost your weapon up for if you're going after Cabanda. He is a demon killer.
Oh
In Wrath
yeah,
of
I
the
mean
Death Wolf.
Ben loves telling the
In Wings of
story
Fenris, and he is the
where
demon killer.
he'd fucking just morbid all over a demon unit with that Wrath of the Death Wolf force deflagrate power. Like that'll just
Yeah.
eat a demon's entire asshole.
Jesus. Yeah, no, he's. Oh yeah. You could stack the Rite of War where he's getting +1 strength with the Howl of Mordecai with the Biomancy and just be what +3 strength there? That's
Yeah,
fucking gross. Oh, here's my yeah. That's gross. So yeah, he's super good. I don't see a downside there. I think he's a 10. Or
yeah.
I think I have a 5. I think you have a 5. I think we all know it.
I have a 4 for him.
For utility?
Yeah, I think the warlord stuff is. I mean, it'd be an interesting narrative aspect. I don't know that you're making this guy your warlord most of the time.
Yeah, that's fair. Um,
Points, I give him a 3, same as all the other psychers. He's very
yeah.
expensive. He's pretty good, but he is very expensive.
Yeah.
War gear, same as all the other psychers. I give him a 5. He has all the same stuff.
Yeah. And he's got Aether Rune armor. You can still take that. No restriction on that.
Versatility, I give this guy a 3. Honestly, you're probably only taking this guy in a melee unit because he's not like the Stormseer
Yeah,
where
no.
he has the different options for like various things. This guy has to be in close
Yeah,
for
he's
Wrath
your
of the
melee
Death
striker.
Wolf. This guy you want. I mean, like maybe you put him in a heavy support squad that wants to be shrouded all the time. Maybe. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I'd give him a 4 because I agree that he's only going to be really for close, but he can buff them offensively or massively buff them defensively.
well, actually, so
Depending
he
on
can
him.
take divination as well, which would be good on a heavy support squad. Yeah, I'll give him
Yeah,
4. 4 for versatility.
he ranks pretty fucking high. And then cool factor.
I give him a 1 again because why the fuck do
Yeah,
Space Wolves get so many goddamn consoles?
I give him a 1 for lying about being a psyker.
Yeah, that too. And he's a filthy psyker even though he says he's not.
Yeah, so that gives him 35.
So, okay, so I'm gonna. Because I know there's gonna be people who are like, oh, what about the White Scars? Because, like, so. Yeah, both the White Scars and the Space Wolves just straight up didn't give a shit about the Edict of Nicaea. The difference is the Space Wolf says, no, it's different when we do it because we do it differently and we're not really psychers. The White Scars disobey the Edict of Nicaea and think that you should too. They don't give a shit. They're like, yeah, we're psychers.
Yeah,
Just don't
they're,
be, a dick and like do stupid things with the
yeah,
warp and you'll be fine.
they're too cool for your fucking shenanigans.
Yeah.
Fuck the law. I'm into it.
Anyway, that still
All
puts
right.
this guy at 30 fucking 5. Good lord.
Jesus, he's still top half. So, you know what? There's a wider spread on the Space Wolf ones than I thought there was going to be. Some of the best, some of the worst.
Yeah.
Go fig. So I honestly forgot Pack Thane was a thing before we started doing this. All right, moving on to the
Yeah.
Castellan.
Yep. The Imperial Fists. You want to take this guy?
Sure. So, he has the Fire Support special rule and he is heavy. Fire Support. When he makes an attack with a heavy weapon, a Castellan may increase the number of attacks made with that weapon by +1 when making a shooting attack. So all your heavy weapons that he can take, he gets an extra shot on.
Which
In
is not
additional,
nothing.
as part of the fire support rule, all your Legion heavy support squads gain line
That's the
because
shmoney.
the Imperial Fists are another Legion that gets everything. Um, he can take a Mastercrafted Heavy Bolter, Mastercrafted Autocannon, or just a regular Iliastus assault cannon. That's interesting that it's not mastercrafted.
I think that's probably just because of malfunction. Like they're
Yeah,
a new kind of deal. They're experimental. Nobody is master. No masters are crafting them yet.
true. In addition, he may not take a jump pack, jet bike, combat bike, combat shield, boarding shield, power fist, solar eye power gauntlet, lightning claws, or any two-handed weapons. So
So
this guy, he is a shooty boy.
yeah, so you remember what I was saying about the use with the use of Terrace about not being able to make a good shooting console.
Yeah,
The Armistos failed. This is the cooler Armistos.
yeah.
This is the guy that actually wants to take that mastercrafted weapon and is going to
Hmm.
use it better than just a regular guy is because he gets
Yes.
that extra shot. And he's
Yeah.
buffing the rest of the army.
The buffs he gets to the other guys have nothing to do with him using his weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's pretty fucking good. Um, Handing out potentially three more line squads into the three more scoring units into your army. Oh, that's utility beyond utility, sight beyond sight.
Now, so I'll
Score
say
bonus.
this: I give him a 3 for utility because scoring heavy support squads are good, but they're typically not that mobile, and there are few missions in the core rulebook, at least, where you can have an objective in or very close to your deployment zone.
What's the one where it's about zone control?
Shatter Strike, I think. So like they exist,
Yeah. So I mean
but
that's
I've
killer for
I've
Shadow
won
Strike.
plenty of games having no line units. Adding more of them is good. Like it's not a detriment. And this guy's
Are
only
heavy
20
flamers heavy?
points. What?
Are heavy flamers heavy or are they assault?
They're assault.
You heavy flamer max.
You very well could.
Heavy flamer max and walk them up the table. And just be scoring with them.
Or you can put them in a rhino.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
well, I
mean,
mean,
it's
put them
good.
in a rhino is good for anybody. Just put somebody in a rhino, get out on the objective, and dare someone to chase you off of it.
Yeah, yeah. I guess there's that. They don't have to be static.
It's 35 points to put somebody in a rhino.
Yeah, and then they have if you shoot at them, return fire counts them as being stationary, so not being relentless doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
So yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll give him 4 utility.
yeah. I think he's fairly useful. Like I think it's the ancillary rules he passed out. He in himself is not super useful. It's
Yeah,
the
I
what he does
mean,
for everyone
one
else.
extra shot on
On a
most of
master
those
crafted,
guns is good. It's not bad. I
it's
don't
not
know that
bad.
I'm jumping out of my seat for it.
I think it's bad on the Iliastus. It's one more chance to break the fucking thing.
Well, that's only on reactions,
Oh yeah, that's true.
and it's only get hot.
That's oh yeah, it's get hot. It's not the way it used to be. They changed these things. I don't fucking have assault cannons, so I don't know how they work.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen anyone take one. So I can agree with you on 4. All right, points value, dude. He's cheap.
yeah.
I give him a 5.
I give him a 4. Even without the buffs, yeah, 20 points is super cheap. Heavy bolt
Yeah,
is free.
yeah.
I give him a 3 on War Gear, which is a very common theme apparently. I don't mean it to be,
Ooh,
but
here's
he is very restricted in what he can take, and this which is fine because he doesn't really want to be doing combat. Um, but I mean, at least he can use his gun. It's gonna be a good gun.
dude. That gun is additional. It's not replacing anything.
Yeah,
So he's still got two hands for doing whatever he wants to do, as long as it's not lightning claws, shields, or fists.
yeah,
So you could do like I don't know. Could give him a thunder hammer and a pistol or something.
yeah. I mean, you very well could.
Just have him
Which would probably
slap
be the
things.
play. You just give him a thunder hammer and his heavy bolter or his autocannon.
Yeah,
Be like, come and take it.
exactly. Not bad.
But then again,
I
like, there's nothing really that can't do that. Like, I don't think. I think the Armistice could still take a thunder hammer if you wanted to.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I say three there.
Um. Ooh, you can. I don't see where it says you can't. Um. Can you not? Can you make him a Terminator?
No, because it's a Legion Centurion and not
Oh
a
yeah, yeah.
Legion Cataphracti
They
Centurion. Or
described that differently. It's because they made a goofy entries.
yeah,
So yeah, I'll give him a 3. So I think we're right in the same spot. 6 overall.
yep.
Okay. Versatility. You take him because he gives line.
I give him a
1.
four. So I'd say he's gonna he has plenty of different options to shoot stuff like those weapon, or at least the heavy bolter and the autocannon. They don't really do the same thing.
That's
So
fair.
you can choose what you want him to do there. Um,
He can fight.
he can fight. He gives you flexibility in your army building. So like maybe I don't have to take as many troops as I was going to otherwise
Yeah. So I can continue to
to score.
abuse BS5 autocannons across my army.
Yeah,
Yeah. So maybe a 2 for me. What did you give him?
four.
4. I still think that he's kind of a he's his while he's decent on what he's doing, he's still there to give you additional scoring units.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I typing? Getting late. All right, cool factor.
The cool factor, I'm giving this guy a two on cool. He's whatever. I don't really care. Like,
I think he's not cool. There's nothing cool about him in my brain. I give him a 1.
see, I at least gave him a two because at least he's not a space wolf or a psyker.
Yeah, but also yellow is the color of piss.
Yeah, you're right.
You're gonna say piss is cool? All right, so
It comes out warm.
yeah, so it's definitely not cool. Um, 18,
32.
14, 32. Ah, interesting. All right. Now we're getting into ones that I don't think so highly of, and I think I'm going to prove myself right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't rate these super, super high.
All right. So, well, with that said, that is the Sons of Horus Dark
Dark Emissary.
Emissary. This guy is 25 points. He gets the War Master's Eye special rule. This is the guy that you take in allied detachment. So if he is your HQ in an allied detachment that is also a traitor, then all of the Sons of Horus in the allied detachment get stubborn, just across the whole detachment. He gets his Staff of Dark Authority, which is it's basically a power lance, but it's unwieldy and murderous strike, 6 up. And also, anyone within 6 inches of that Staff of Dark Authority gets leadership 10 when taking a morale or pinning check.
I mean, I'd say it's more of an AP3 power axe with Murderous Strike.
Yeah, you're right.
Lances are +1 initiative, and this is not.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's also AP3 instead of AP2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. AP3 power axe with Murderous Strike, 6. I don't rate him. He's
See,
niche, niche, niche.
he is very
Because
niche.
he is only for if you want to take a Sons of Horus as an ally.
Yeah. He's a very narrative theme. I give him a 3 for utility. He's basically a detachment wide chaplain. The thing is that detachment's probably not going to be that big because it is an allied detachment. And you are also giving up, some other possible consoles because you only get one HQ in an allied
Like an
detachment.
actual chaplain. He doesn't
Yeah.
give hatred. He just gives the stubborn.
Yeah, but he does give it to everybody.
I think that that's almost worthless. So, like, if you're gonna take a allied detachment of Sons of Horus where you're really limited how many units you can take, I would bet probably 8 times out of 10 the goal is to get some Justarin in, up in you,
Oh, for sure.
and Justarin are already stubborn.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I made my despoiler squad that I took extra stubborn. What?
Now, here's the
I spent
thing.
85. I spent 85 points to make a spoiler squad stubborn.
Well, here's the thing. A lot like the Delegatus, this guy's cheaper than a chaplain. So
He
if
is.
you do have like just your despoiler squad and your Justarin, then you have a cheaper stubborn. And he's leadership 10 for making those morale and pinning checks.
The Staff of Dark Authority doesn't have to be your weapon. It's just an extra weapon you get. Not really a downside to it.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 2 or 3. I think he's barely low on mine.
Yeah, I'm still giving him 3. But I could see the argument for 2.
He's so niche, and the stuff that you're gonna take with him is not always gonna get the value out of him.
Yeah.
And you're taking him in, and it's not like you can bring another HQ. He is your only HQ when you take him this way.
Right.
You cut everything else out to do it. To use him, you get rid of anything else you could use, which I think is the big thing for me.
Yeah.
Because you could instead spend the 10 more points and put a chaplain with Justarin as your allied attachment.
That is true. Justarin, did Justarin have deep strike innately, or do they get it from a rite of war? I think they get it from a rite of war. Never mind.
You get it from Rite of War.
Yeah, so you're not deep striking that guy anyway.
Right, or you could put a Herald with him, too. Take a Herald.
Yeah, you could do that.
And then, I have scoring Justarin. Who are already leadership 9.
Yeah,
No
and then they're fearless.
They're fearless. Furious charge. Chosen warrior stubborn.
Yeah. All right. So, points value, I give him a 3. Yeah. I mean, he's cheaper than a chaplain.
I can dig that. He's very cheap. Get 3 on war gear. The staff's neat.
Same.
Doesn't do anything super whammadine.
Yeah.
Well, the staff is actually fairly good, just not as a weapon.
Oh yeah, the staff is good.
All trader models. It's not just ones in his detachment.
Right. Because he's the guy bolstering the entire trader war effort.
He's the travel agent of Sons of Horus.
But he's less.
Fly with us.
A lot like Burt Reynolds, he's not a man with a mustache. He's a mustache being held by a man. So,
right.
You're the war gear's all about the staff.
It's all about the staff. Versatility, he's kind of that one trick pony. Yeah.
Yeah, 1. He's only a Sons of Horus trader allied detachment, and he must be on foot. Like, yeah. What else?
No. Yeah. So yeah, now.
Now for cool factor, I'm gonna give him a 5. I think it's a super cool idea.
It is a super cool idea. I don't think they executed it well, but it's a super cool idea.
Yeah.
Leaving him with the grand total of 29.
Sounds right to me.
I can't do math. All right. Moving along at an ever-increasing pace, we come to, after I scroll through the 100 pages of Sons of Horus, the Turd Bearers.
Yeah.
I say that jokingly. I think word bearers are based, and I intend to try to run them at some day with one hand behind my back as loyalist word bearers.
See, I think that despite my World Eater allegiance, I think Erebus is base as fuck.
I mean, he did flounce and fuck an entire galaxy in half
Yep. He
and
kills
ruin everything for
perpetuals
everyone
and
everywhere.
doesn't afraid of anything.
Yeah, he ruined everything for everyone ever because Rubo Gilliman knocked over his toys
Yeah.
on Monarchia.
Yep. The ultimate petty revenge.
So untold quadrillions had to die, and the galaxy had to be fucked
Monarchia
in
has
half.
fallen. Trillions must die.
Yeah, we must commit to 10,000 years of damnation and the slow heat death of the universe because of it.
Alright, so
Um,
what's their special console, Gray? The Diabolist. What's this guy all about?
Alright, so he is an extraordinarily limited psyker.
He sure
He is.
is.
He can be any type of console, or be it power armor or Terminator armor. Um, he gets the. Oh, sorry, any type of Centurion. Excuse me. He gets the corrupted rule, which for the kids at home is. Oh God, where is that?
It's the page
Oh
before.
yeah,
It gives Fear
Fear
1.
1. He gets instant death by anything that's force or psychic. If he's in a corrupted unit, they're immune to fear, automatically pass regroup tests, and cannot choose to fail morale check due to our weapons are useless. So he could just get stuck in with something that he can't kill and have a bad time. When they fail a morale check, they don't fall back, but instead they commissar themselves. Um, and it allows him to. He is one of the few things that can join Galvor back out the box.
Yeah,
So I think
so
you can.
the point of Corrupted is that it's basically pseudo demon rules.
So what's interesting is that you can, while he natively has corrupted, you can also buy corrupted for the same cost onto a unit for the same cost as the cost of the Diabolist.
Right.
So what he is realistically is he is war gear. He gets a force weapon. He may only change it for a power weapon at no additional points cost. So no swapping your free bolt pistol out for a force weapon. You're gonna pay 15 points for that Joker, and you're gonna like it. Diabolism. You get a dark and terrible power as your psychic power, and that is. Oh, you know what? His entry's backwards in the book. The other entries put the psychic weapon first and the power last. They put the power first and the weapon last on him. That's weird. When a charge is declared for a model with his power, or for a unit that includes a model with his power, the controlling player may choose to make a psychic check. 20 dice are rolled to determine the charge of the distance of that charge. If the psychic check is successful, then they gain the Hammer of Wrath 3 special rule, and increase both their strength and tough by 1 for the duration of the assault phase. If it's failed, they get perils, and once that is resolved, they get +1 to strength and tough until the start of the controlling player's next turn.
So this is basically better biomancy, is what
Yes,
this is.
because it's a whole turn.
It's a whole turn, and you still get +1 strength and toughness even if you fail. Like, you just get away with it.
Well, right. If you fail, you get it longer. If you succeed, you just get it for the assault phase. If you fail, you get it for
Oh,
the
yeah.
rest of your turn.
Until the
All of
start
your
of the controlling
opponents,
plate. Yeah.
all of your opponent's turn, and then it's your turn. So it's very defensive.
Yeah. That's
So
crazy. You
it's
like want to
biomancy
fail.
with no downside, really.
Yeah.
Because Hammer Wrath 3 isn't always the best. Although if you're gonna be more than likely Gal Vorback you're giving it to, it's Strength 5 Hammer of Wrath, which ain't nothing.
Now, the
It'll be Strength 6
downside to
because
it
they'd be Strength
is
6.
that it is just that guy. It's not his whole unit.
Oh yeah, nope, it's just him. But it's still a Strength 5 Hammer of Wrath on him.
Yeah.
But it doesn't affect his unit, it's just him. So that's kind of not great.
Yeah.
It doesn't do the minute. So it's actually worse It's very good for keeping him alive.
Right. You
Um,
just pass those perils on someone else, and then
yeah. So he gets the Hellfire Psychic Weapon. It's a template, Strength 7, AP 4, Assault 1, Rending 6, Deflagrate, and Psychic Focus. Um, Nothing to write home about. It's a Rending 6, Deflagrating, Strength 7, Flame.
yeah, it's
Alright.
certainly not the Space Wolves one. That's for goddamn sure.
No.
I mean,
So,
Rending 6 ain't bad, but it's not,
utility wise,
Strength 10.
yeah. I give this guy a 1 on utility.
I give him a 2. He only gets the one discipline. It only helps him. The
The
Hellfire is
weapon isn't good.
okay.
He has to be corrupted.
If you're playing Trader Word Bearers, you probably have a fair amount of that anyway.
Yeah. And the problem is, right, is like it's just a free psychic power that isn't that great. Other than that, he's just a corrupted console.
Yeah. But you get that for the cost of Corrupted.
So it's just giving your console that you're already corrupting one power that it didn't have.
Right.
Doesn't do anything else for you. You give him a 2, I give him a 1. He doesn't do anything. He is like the PlayStation 3 of consoles.
Has no games.
No games. Point value, I give him a 3.
Honestly, I give him a 5 on points. He's the cheapest Psyker. Uh, he basically gets a free psychic power and the ability to take force weapons for the cost of the corrupted. So like
Oh,
even if you
no.
say,
Nope.
what do you mean no?
Negatory. He doesn't get the free fourth weapon like everyone else.
Well,
He
no,
has
he
to pay
get
for
the
it.
ability to exchange it.
Yeah, but he has to pay for it. Everyone else gets theirs for free.
No, a librarian has
He can
to
exchange a pistol
get
for it.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Everyone else
whatever.
can drop a pistol for it. He has to buy a power weapon and exchange it.
All
So
right,
he is
so
the most
you get it.
expensive
You
fourth
get
weapon.
15 points to be a psyker. Like that's not that bad. Like
So then,
on top of the corrupted,
so to
I
make
think
him
that's a pretty
equal,
decent trade. And then
yeah,
Hellfire's not bad.
I don't think it's a good. I don't think it's a great psyker. It's all right. Um, that's why I gave it a 3. I think he's got some downsides. He is cheap baseline, but what you're getting on the cheap, I don't know that it's worth it compared to what you could just be doing instead. You could just corrupt a librarian and have a
Yeah.
better time. You're gonna pay more points, but you're gonna have a way better time. You're gonna pay 5 more points. You're gonna have a great time because you're gonna buy the power weapon, and turn it into a force weapon. So you're looking at it. Really, it's secretly a 40-point console. They have a librarian that has no games.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
you know what? You're right.
librarian
I'll drop him to
coverages.
4. I still think it's a decent value for what you get for that power.
Yeah. War gear, 1.
I give him a 3 on War Gear. Like he still gets force weapons. He doesn't get a psychic hood.
No,
But he still gets access to force weapons, which I think are very good.
he does. Paying for them
Like even if it's
it
not free.
sucks. I'll give him a 2. His force weapons are good. I think the fact that he doesn't get the psychic hood kind of sucks. He's the only psyker who doesn't in the game.
Yeah.
Every other psyker, I think, can buy it or has it built in. That kind of sucks. Um, that's including characters.
Mm.
So he is probably the weakest psyker in the game. Versatility, he has none over a Centaurian.
Oh yeah,
He's
he's a
got
1. You get 1 power. It's only used while charging. The weapon is a
it's only
template
for him.
weapon, so like you have to be in a corrupted melee unit for this guy to do anything.
Yeah,
Like
it's not
there's
great.
no in between there.
Now I'm gonna give him a 3 for cool factor. So, ignoring the meme of psychers are not cool, conceptually he's cool for the idea that his idea is he's baby's first psychic power,
Yeah,
baby's first warp experiments.
I think it's like yeah he's because I think he's technically like a psyker who wasn't always a psyker.
Yeah, he's I'm not even really sure that rules wise he's really a psyker.
No,
He's
he
just a
is. He's the
sorcerer.
psyker unit
I mean, he's a
subtype.
psyker unit
Yeah, by
type, but
rules,
like
yeah. Yeah,
lore
by like
wise, I think
lore.
he's just a sorcerer.
Yeah,
He's like, I found this cool book and I read it and my furniture started floating.
yeah,
So like, I give him a 3.
yeah. I mean, I pretty much feel the same way.
So for a grand total of 10, 20,
Oof.
that's fairly low.
Is only marginally better than the Pathfinder.
But still
But
way
still
better than
better.
the Armistice.
Yeah. No
Poor
kidding.
Armistice. Poor Armistice. My boy. They murdered you. Alright, Saboteur.
Alright, Saboteur,
Um,
the Alpha Legion, for 15 points. You get a guy that gets Infiltrate, Scout, and he can only
Skirmish.
join Legion Seeker squads or Headhunter kill teams. But why would you ever do that? Because then you would miss out on the False Colors special rule. This
Yep.
is the guy that blends in and goes to walk amongst the enemy and do funny things to their vehicles. So a unit composed entirely of models with this special rule may not be targeted by a shooting attack by an enemy unit, as long as the unit with this special rule has not made a shooting attack at any point in the battle. Once a unit or model with this special rule has made a shooting attack or successfully charged an enemy unit, including a reaction, so like return fire or something, then
Mhm.
this special rule has no further effect, nor does the special rule restrict the enemy from declaring charges targeting a model or unit that has this special rule. And then he also gets Melta Bombs, Breacher Charges, and Shroud Bombs, and gets a 5 point Nemesis Bolter instead of like 20, I think it is,
Yeah,
for a regular
10.
Centurion.
10.
10, yeah. So half price Nemesis
Halfway.
Bolter. But why would you ever use that? Because this guy wants to be up close. So what this guy's going to do, what he's ever
No
done in
jump
every
pack, no
time that
bike.
I have ever seen him used, is that he is going to move up. He's going to like charge a vehicle. Maybe he'll blow it up with his melta bombs, and then he's going to fucking die because he's by himself and a giant target. Like, if you're gonna give him a Nemesis Bolter, just take a Vigilator. If you're gonna, I don't know.
And no
See,
no
the other
mobility
problem.
to do that is tough.
Well, he has Infiltrate and Scout.
But, he,
The problem
but he's
is
still walking.
that False Colors doesn't prevent him from being charged for some reason.
Right.
So like the rampagers casually walking past are gonna see this guy and instantly be like, "Hey, wait a minute, we need
He's
to
gonna
shoot
die
this
to
guy's
tactical
ass."
squad charging him just by weight of numbers.
Yeah, I mean that too. Like,
Like it doesn't matter what charges him, he's gonna probably unless it's another like very low attack unit of very few guys, he's gonna die getting charged, walking in.
yes,
Unless so there's a good chance he dies before he delivers, unless first turn he can get up and touch a vehicle.
which you can't charge out of Infiltrate anyway. There's also
So
nothing that says he can't be rammed by that
yeah, no, I
vehicle.
think he's fucking useless.
I give him a 2. You know, at least the opponent has to deal with him. So it's like, oh, that tac squad isn't doing Fury of the Legion. They're going to charge this guy instead. Maybe you can sneak in and bomb a vehicle before being torn to shreds. Maybe. I mean, singular melta bombs, as my Seeker Squad discovered against your Land Raider. Melta bombs don't always work that way.
Yeah, no. You could also get some really bad. You could also get some really silly shit like Yeah, so game starts and he tries to get up real close to your fucking I don't know, your Land Raider full of boys or whatever. And you just charge out a Land Raider, eat him, and get back in and go about your day.
Yeah.
Because you pull the Land Raider within like 3 inches of him, just beat the fuck out of him. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
I think he's a one. I think he's so niche. He relies on your opponent playing badly.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, oh, if you are able to get to that vehicle, it's because your opponent didn't deploy well. Or,
It's
I
not
mean,
on
you
you, it's
you
on your
could make the
opponent.
argument that he makes your opponent react because he's like the cheapest distraction Carnifex you could ever get. But I don't even know if Carnifex is the right word because as soon as he makes that charge, he's fair game for anything. And there's a good chance in the first couple of turns you're going to have guys that are out of range of shooting anything else.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't. I'll give him a one. I know you give him a two. I think that he's tits on a bowl, my man.
Yeah.
Point value.
I give him a 5 for points. He is really cheap. He has really good gear. Like, even if you're like, all right, all I'm going to do is use the Shroud Bombs and the Breacher charges.
I don't even know what breacher charges do. I'd have to look at them.
Um, I'm not sure either. I think they're like a grenade. Like, you
No,
throw them and they explode real good. But,
that
like,
here is right behind consoles, isn't it? Yeah.
oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Shroud Bombs are good. You're paying, if nothing else, you're paying 15 points for Shroud Bombs. And then you can stick them
Yeah.
wherever. And I think the Shroud Bomb stick them anywhere is also what gives them the 2 utility for me instead of 1.
Here's breacher charge. Ooh, cringe. Can only be used on buildings and fortifications.
Oh, yeah, yeah, never mind.
One automatic strength 10 AP2 hit at initiative step 1.
Yeah, you're paying 15 points for Shroud Bombs and Melta Bombs, which is a pretty good price for those. Uh, and I
Shroud
mean
bombs don't
that
matter then.
half off Nemesis Bolter isn't awful, but you would just take a Vigilator in that case.
I think the shroud bombs are useless for what he's there for. Oh, I'm 6 inches further away when you shoot at me. You
Well, six
can't shoot
inches
at me.
+2 for the Alpha Legion. Well, after he blows up that one tank, then guys can. But then if they can't shoot him, then he's not a distraction. So, yeah.
That's of no value.
Maybe you just use him to give Shroud Bombs to Headhunter kill teams.
Maybe. I don't know. I think we're. I don't know if he's a five. I'd probably put him like a three or a four.
Yeah, I just say that because he is so cheap,
He is
and
he is very cheap.
I would pay 15 points for Shroud Bombs. I would say like that
Yeah,
alone.
but then you're ignoring everything else he does that way.
That,
So
I mean, that could be worth.
it could be worth. But remember, it's not 15 points you're paying. Then you're paying six. You're paying 75 points to give a squad shroud bombs
Yeah,
and an HQ slot to do it.
I don't know, maybe 4 for points.
So. All right, war gear. This war gear's fairly good.
Yeah, I'd say
I give him a
4. I mean,
four.
it's good stuff. And if you face the one guy on the planet who actually uses a fortification, that breacher charge is going to come in handy. Shroud
Mhm.
bombs are universally good. Nemesis bolter for half price. Like again, he's not really the guy to take it, but sure, why not? I guess if you really wanted to put him with headhunters and give him shroud bombs, that's why you don't take a vigilator. Maybe.
Can you destroy terrain pieces in this game?
No.
So then why do they say fortification or building? If it's not a fortification, it doesn't matter.
I guess I don't know, man. They word things weirdly.
Yeah, there's no buildings, not in that sort of way. Okay. Versatility, he doesn't have any.
Yeah, I give him one. You take him for false colors or for shroud bombs, and you're not shooting with him. So the Nemesis bolter, like whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I will say, however, I give him a 5 for cool factor for
He's
Gaslight,
super
Gatekeep,
cool.
Girl Boss.
Yeah, no, he's definitely girl boss. He gets so he is 30.
Huh.
So he outranked the Dark Emissary and the Pack Thane.
Pac-Thane's not so surprising.
Honestly, think I was like, oh, and the Diabolist.
Also not surprising.
Sure. So that is it. That is our full ranking of all possible non-unique Centurions, unless we missed one that's in some fucking book somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
a thousand
if there's
campaign
any
book.
that came out in like exemplary battles or a campaign book, like we don't have the Legion Decurions because I mean they're not Centurion upgrades.
No,
Um,
they're 1/10 of a Centurion.
yeah,
It takes 10 Decurions to make one Centurion. Is an Armistice just 10 Decurions in a trench coat? I forgot
he
how to
would
shoot.
shoot better if he was.
Oh yeah, that's true. Weird.
So let's
Yeah.
look at this. The best one is the Dark Angels Paladin of the Hecatonistica, who is
Um,
also tied with the best overall.
which is the Herald.
Yep. And then the worst one was the Pack Thane from the Space Wolves.
Oh, it's the yeah, which is still slightly better than the Armistice. Weird.
Yeah.
No, the worst one is the Diabolist. Diabolist is
Oh,
actually good.
yeah.
Pack Thane beats Diabolist,
By a hair.
which is weird because we were very harsh on the Pack Thane.
Yeah, well, it's that
That point
cheapness that
value,
saved him.
that 10 points.
Yeah.
Well, for that, he'd have tanked out. So that's kind of cool. The real surprise to me anyways, the real surprise on the Legion specific was the Phoenix Morning.
Yeah, same. When I first looked at that guy, I was like, oh man, yeah, this guy's total doo doo butter.
But then once you started
But
looking like, oh, this is in addition to. This is not
yeah.
instead of, it's in addition to. That
Well,
makes it much better.
yeah, in addition to the, oh yeah, you can take other war gear like Sonic Shriekers.
Yeah.
That immediately
Understanding
bumps them
him
up.
as a defensive character, not an offensive character, he's way fucking better. Although he's no slouch in offense either.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, overall, in our multi part here review of consoles, we had some things that were no brainers that we knew were going to be bad. We had some guys that were surprisingly high ranked. Most of it kind of laid where we sort of thought it was going to be, I think.
I think I was more surprised with good than I was with bad. Just based on like if you would when I was thinking like the other day, if you would just ask me how good is the Forge Lord, I probably would have said, probably not really that great. I mean, what does he really do?
Yeah.
But nah, he looks like a decent fellow.
I was surprised how low the Primus Medicae ranked when we really thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about that for a long time, but just to see it numerically is a bit of a shock.
Yeah,
Because
here
he is
we add a
really
little.
good in the one instance or two instances, and those two instances are fairly common.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That's what
The
I thought.
Primus Mid-Decay.
Yep. Um, fucking Harold Best Boy. I need to start using him more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the librarian is our fan favorite. Fight our nonsense about psychers.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's. I am surprised, not that it wasn't number one, but the gap between it and number one.
Yeah, that was a huge gap. It was really. point value and cool factor that let it down. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. If I wasn't such a shithead about psychers, yeah, he'd be like,
he'd probably be number one
yeah,
or number two. But yeah, um, I was surprised Esoterus ranked as high as he did once we looked at him. He kind of surprised me because I really hadn't looked at him. This was a good exercise in looking at um centurions that we would never look at normally.
yeah. Like I would never consider a siege breaker. I
Nope.
mean, I still wouldn't use one in any of my armies. They don't really fit, but I definitely see the appeal now. Anyway, I think that is going to
That is,
do it for this episode of the Argel Talk podcast.
yeah.
If you have thoughts and feelings about the rankings on here, you can leave comments and you can email us at argletalkpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, which will hopefully be sometime this year, roll piss.
Peace.